The City Time Fraud, a case study in institutional unethical behavior. How $63 million turned into a $600 million ethical disaster. The mission: replace a paper-based payroll for 100,000 plus New York City employees. The goal: transparency, efficiency, and fraud prevention. The irony: a project designed to stop fraud became the biggest vehicle for fraud in New York City history. Key player: Joel Bundy, New York City Payroll Executive Director. The violation: Bundy oversaw contracts for Sperian, a company he worked for just 2 years prior. Ethical concept: conflict of interest. The result: lack of objective judgment led to contract revisions that ballooned costs by 1,300%. The shift: moving from a fixed price to a time and materials or T&M contract. The ethical risk: T&M contracts remove the incentive for the contractor to be efficient. The abuse: consultants billed $236.25 per hour with zero oversight. The crime: Sykes Gerald Denald received $5 million in kickbacks. The method: funneling $450 million through Technogyne to a fake consulting firm in India. Ethical concept: individual versus corporate integrity. Transparency: competitive bidding is an ethical necessity, not just a legal one. Accountability: oversight must be independent. You cannot police yourself. Outcome: Syke paid a $500 million settlement, a massive price for ethical failure. Defining professionalism in the modern workforce. The IT professional. A profession is a calling that requires specialized knowledge and often long and intensive academic preparation. Over the years, the United States government adopted labor laws and regulations that required a more precise definition of what is meant by a professional employee. The United States Code of Federal Regulations defines a professional employee as one who is engaged in the performance of work. Number 1. Professional work requires knowledge of an advanced type in a field of science or learning customarily acquired by a prolonged course of specialized intellectual instruction and study in an institution of higher learning or a hospital. This is distinguished from knowledge acquired by a general academic education, an apprenticeship, or training in the performance of routine, mental, manual, mechanical, or physical activities. Number 2. A professional employee is defined by work that requires the consistent exercise of discretion and judgment in its performance. This means the individual must have the authority to make independent decisions rather than simply following a predetermined manual or set of rules. Number 3. The work must be predominantly intellectual and varied in character. These legal standards distinguishes professional roles from routine, mental, manual, mechanical, or physical work, ensuring that the tasks are complex and non-repetitive. Number 4. The work must be of such character that the output produced or the result accomplished cannot be standardized in relation to a given period of time. Unlike assembly line or manual labor, the value of professional work is measured by the complexity of the result rather than the clock. Professionals like doctors, lawyers, and accountants require advanced training and must exercise discretion as their work cannot be standardized. Society expected them to contribute to the community, pursue lifelong training, and mentor others. Additionally, these roles carry special rights and responsibilities such as a doctor's ability to perform surgery while maintaining strict patient confidentiality. Are IT workers professionals? While IT specialists like software engineers and system analysts possess advanced training and backgrounds, there is a debate regarding whether every IT role meets the strict legal requirements of prolonged specialized instruction. From a legal standpoint, IT workers are generally not recognized as professionals because they are not required to hold states or federal licenses unlike doctors or lawyers. This distinction is crucial in legal matters as many courts have ruled that IT workers cannot be held liable for professional malpractice because they do not meet the specific legal definition of a professional employee. Professional relationships that IT workers must be managed. The employers, clients, suppliers, other professionals, IT users, and the society.
The relationships between IT workers and employers. So first, the foundation of the relationships. The relationship begins with a mutual agreement on a fundamental terms such as job titles, salary, and work hours, which are further reinforced by company policy manuals and conducts of product. So these documents outline specific expectations regarding the use of company resources, benefits like tuition, reimbursements, and professional dress code. So Yon, bago magsimula ang trabaho, dapat malinaw ang kasunduan sa sweldo, oras at tungkulin. Ang mga patakarang ito ay nakasulat sa Code of Conduct o manual ng kumpanya upang malaman ng IT worker ang tamang paggamit ng mga gamit ng opisina at mga benepisyong makukuha niya. Number 2, the software piracy and corporate compliance. IT workers hold significant power and may be tempted to use unlicensed software to reduce departmental spending, but such actions constitute a direct violation of ethics and law. So the Business Software Alliance actively investigates these violations, often relying on reports from disgruntled employees to penalize companies using illegal software. So ito naman yung mga humahawak ng system at tinitignan nila kung sino yung gumagamit ng mga unlicensed na software upang sa ganun ang mga kumpanya na ito ay makatipid. And then ang BSA or Business Software Alliance ay isang grupo na nagbabantay upang sa ganun parusahan yung mga nahuhuling gumagawa nito. Madalas ang nagsusumbong ay mga galit na empleyado sa kanilang kumpanya. Third, the high cost of non-compliance. So failure to maintain proper software licenses can result in catastrophic financial damage, including civil penalties of up to $150,000 per copyright work. So beyond civil suits, the government can criminally prosecute violators, leading to fines of $250,000 and potential incarceration for up to 5 years. So, napakalaki ng multa kapag nahuli sa software piracy. Maaring umabot nga to sa $100, $100,000 bawat kumpanya ng software ang kailangang bayaran. So, bukod sa multa, maaari ring makulong ng hanggang 5 taon at magbayad ng malaking halaga sa gobyerno upang sinumang mapatunayang lumalabag dito. Case study, Alexander Automotive Group. So in 2012, the Alexander Automotive Group was forced to pay a $325,000 settlement after the BSA discovered they were utilizing unlicensed Microsoft software on their corporate computers. As part of the resolution, the firm had to delete all the illegal copies, purchase valid licenses, and implement stricter software management procedures. So noong 2012, nagbayad ang kumpanya nila ng $325,000 dahil sa paggamit ng mga pekeng Microsoft software. Pinilit nilang burahin ang mga lahat ng unlicensed software at bumili ng mga legal na lisensya bilang bahagi ng kanilang settlement sa BSBA nila. Protecting trade secrets. Employers utilize confidentiality agreements to protect trade secrets, unique information like software code or business plans that provide a competitive economic advantage. A notable example of this conflict occurred when Zynga sued a former manager for allegedly stealing critical financial and design data when moving to a competitor. So, ang mga trade secret ay ang mga impormasyon tanging ang mga kumpanya lang ang nakakaalam at nagbibigay sa kanila ng lamang na negosyo or lamang sa negosyo gaya ng source code o disenyo ng software, design software. Pinapapirma ang mga IT worker ng confidentiality agreement para sa masigurong hindi nila ibibigay ang mga sikretong ito sa mga kalaban sa kumpanya. So, yun yung trade secret or pagprotekta sa mga trade secret nila. Next naman ay ang ethical whistleblowing. Whistleblowing occurs when an employer reports a company's illegal or dangerous actions to external authorities after internal attempts to resolve the issue have been ignored. While this serves the public interest, IT professionals who blow the whistle often face significant personal risks, including professional retaliation and termination. So, ang mga whistleblowing ay ang paglalantad ng isang empleyado sa mga illegal o mapanganib na gawain ng kanilang kumpanya sa mga otoridad. Bagamat ito ay para sa kabutihan ng publiko, madalas itong nagreresulta sa gulo, kung saan ang empleyadong nagsumbong ay maaring harasin o matanggal sa trabaho bilang ganti. Yun yung ethical na whistleblowing or ethical whistleblowing. Study Infosys and visa abuse. So, a whistleblower loads against Infosys to the company creatively circumvented H-1B visa rules by using B-1 visas to bring in full-time workers without paying proper taxes or wages. The employee who reported these abuses faced severe retaliation, including harassment, being stripped of work responsibilities. So, ito ay nagdemanda sa kanya or yung whistleblower ang nagdemanda sa kumpanyang Infosys dahil sa kanilang maling paggamit ng mga bisa para sa mga dayuhang manggagawa upang makaiwas sa buwis or taxes at tamang pagsahod. Matapos magsumbong, ang empleyadong ito ay hinaras, binawasan ang bonus at hindi na binigyan ng mahalagang trabaho. And then, the strength of the IT-employer relationships relies on the ethical use of technology, the protection of intellectual property, and a commitment to legal compliance. Ultimately, maintaining a transparent and legal workplace is far more cost-effective for an organization than facing the legal and reputational consequences of misconduct. So, ang maayos na relasyon ng IT worker or ang employer ay nakabase sa tiwala, pagsunod sa batas, at pag-iingat sa mga pag-aari ng kumpanya. Mas mura at mas ligtas para sa isang kumpanya ang sumunod sa tamang proseso kaysa humarap sa malaking demanda at pagkasira ng pangalan. Shared responsibility in decision making. Because there is often a vast disparity in technical expertise, success depends on the client trusting the worker's expertise and the worker trusting the client to provide relevant information for shared decision making. So, dahil sa mas malawak na kaalaman ng technical ng IT worker, kailangan may tiwala sa isa't isa. Ang kliyente ay magtitiwala sa kanilang worker at ang worker naman ay umaasa sa tamang impormasyon mula sa kliyente para sa paggawa ng decision. Next, the ethical problems or conflict of interest. A conflict of interest can occur when IT consultants recommend their own proprietary products or services to remedy a problem they detected, which undermines their objectivity. So, nagkakaroon ng conflict of interest kapag ang consultant ay rekomenda ng sarili nilang produkto para ayusin ang problema, dahil maaari itong maapektuhan ang kanilang pagiging patas o objectivity. Risk of inaccurate project reporting. So, project managers may withhold accurate status reports to keep resources flowing or to avoid contractual penalties, which can lead to a crisis in legal charges once the truth is revealed. So, yan minsan ay tinatago ng mga project manager ang tunay na status ng proyekto upang hindi mahinto ang pondo, ngunit nagdudulot ito ng krisis at nalaman ang katotohanan tungkol sa mga delay or pagkakamali ng isang kumpanya. Issues, fraud, and misrepresentation. So fraud, obtaining goods or services through deception, which requires being representation of material fact and an intent to deceive. So ang fraud ito ay panloloko para makakuha ng gamit o serbisyo sa pamamagitan ng pagsisinungaling. And then, misrepresentation naman ay the misstatement or incomplete statement of real fact that may give a party the legal right to cancel contract. Kumbaga, ito ang nagbibigay sa impormasyon na nagiging dahilan kaya pumapasok sa isang kontrata ang kabilang panig. Understanding of contract. So, material breach of contract occurs when a party fails to perform express or implied obligations that destroy the essence of contract, allowing the people or the other party to seek restitution or damages. So, nangyayari ang breach of contract kapag ang isang panig ay hindi sunod ang mga napagkasunduan sa kontrata na nagbibigay ng karapatan sa biktima na bawiin ang bayad o magdemanda para sa danyos or damages na nasira. IT workers develop with or the good relationships with suppliers by dealing fairly and avoiding unreasonable demands as threatening a supplier for failing to meet unrealistic lead times. So this is the relationship with the suppliers. So dapat ay maging patas ang mga IT workers sa kanilang mga supplier at huwag magbigay ng unreasonable demands o utos na imposibleng nilang magawa sa task. And the Trust Act or FCPA involves providing money or favors for a business advantage, and the FCPA is a crime for U.S. citizens or company to foreign owners. So, ang mga pagbibigay ng pera o borgali na bentahe sa negosyo sa ilalim ng FCPA, bawal sa mga kumpanyang Amerikano ang magsugol sa mga opisyal ng gobyerno sa ibang bansa. Distinguishing bribes from gifts. The primary difference between a bribe and a gift is a transparency. Most companies require gifts be declared to ensure they are not perceived as an unethical payoff. So, ang pangunahing pagkakaiba ng regalo sa suhol ay ang pagiging tapat. Karamihan sa mga kumpanya ay nangangailangan na ideklara ang lahat ng regalong natatanggap upang maiwasan ang hinala ng korupsyon. Detecting resume falsehoods. Employers use various background checks to uncover frequent areas of exaggeration in professional resumes. So, nandito yung tatlo. Number 1, dates of employment or job titles. Uncovered through or tour of reference checks. Criminal records. So, identified via criminal checks. And then education and licenses verified through universities, training organizations, or accrediting agencies. So, IT workers and user ethics. IT workers must understand users' needs and establish an environment that discourages software piracy and the inappropriate use of corporate computing resources. So, responsibilidad ng IT workers na gumawa ng sistema na hindi nanghihikayat ng software piracy at siguraduhin na hindi abusado ang paggamit ng mga ito at impormasyon ng kumpanya. So, social responsibility of IT professionals. Society expects IT professionals to provide benefits and avoid harm, such as ensuring that computer-based control systems for manufacturing do not put the public at risk. So, inaasahan ng lipunan ng mga IT professionals ay magbibigay ng pakinabang at hindi pagdudulot ng panganib, lalo na sa mga sistemang kontrolado ng computer na maaaring makaapekto sa kaligtasan ng publiko.
The foundation of IT professionalism. Definition of professional codes of ethics. A code of ethics serves as a behavioral guide that outlines essential principles and core values for a specific occupational group. It functions as a formal affirmation of the practitioner's commitment to their field, much like the Hippocratic Oath in medicine. Structure and aspirations of ethical codes. These codes are typically bipartite. The first section defines the organization's high-level aspirations, while the second provides specific and foreseeable rules and principles for member conduct. Many also mandate a commitment to lifelong learning to ensure professionals stay current with industry change. Major IT professional organizations. Organizations such as the ACM, IEEECS, AITP, and SANS help IT workers networks, exchange ideas, and keep pace with rapid technological advancements. These groups provide critical resources, including research journals, training certification, and specialized ethical frameworks like the Software Engineering Codes of Ethics. Legal limitations of IT liability. In the US legal systems, professional malpractice suits generally fall in the IT sector because there are no uniform states license standards for software engineering. Without these license standards, courts have no baseline to determine if an individual's behavior constitutes a breach of the duty of care. Government licensing for IT workers. Licensing is a government mandate process intended to ensure public safety, but its application in IT is debated because the field lacks of universally accepted core body of knowledge. Proponents argue it would increase accountability and reliability, while critics points to the difficulty to testing for such a rapidly changing industry. Establishing IT usage policies. To mitigate these risks, companies must implement clear written guidelines for software use and data access. Strategic tools like corporate firewalls are also essential for enforcing these policies by blocking objectionable content and preventing unauthorized external access to the network. The role of audit committee. The audit committee of a board of directors provides critical oversight of an organization's accounting integrity and legal compliance. They are responsible for monitoring the performance of both independent external auditors and internal audit team, prevent fraud and financial mismanagement. Challenge in professional oversight. Effective IT governance is complicated by the fact that there is no single administrative body to accredit professional education or ensure the ongoing competence of individual workers. This leaves a gap in accountability that organizations must currently fill through internal policies and audit oversight.